Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Good morning, everybody. All right, few things. Number one, this is going to be a little bit shorter video than usual. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Number two, you guys are all commenting on the memes. Those are from Meghan Narcissus 1. It's the lean meme machine. You can find them on Instagram. And number three, for those of you who enjoyed Finn's video, I'm so glad that I was able to put that up for you on Sunday. He's doing just fine, guys. He really is. All right, we have some stuff to cover today. Let's just jump in and get there, shall we? Let's go. To start with, William and Catherine recognized World Ranger Day. It's a day where they were honoring all the rangers in Africa who have passed away while protecting the wildlife and the wild places. They highlighted a group called United for Wildlife, which is a group that works to stop illegal wildlife trade. And it brings together governments and corporations and organizations, conservation organizations. And they pointed out that in the last year, 148 rangers have died while protecting wildlife. And they're going to honor their memory and reflect on things that they did for, nature. I think that's lovely. What you're looking at now are the 71 people who have died since last year, trying to protect wildlife. And the ones whose deaths were not reported at present are represented by the unknown African ranger. And they're saying they think that those figures are probably high due to lack of reporting. I think that's terrible. All right, moving on. All right, we're going to move on now to Sarah Ferguson, who was actually seen for the first time since she had her mastectomy due to her breast cancer diagnosis. Andrew, the ex-husband, was driving her through Windsor on Sunday. Now, I have to say, I think it's very nice that Andrew is stepping up to take care of her. Yes, I know they have a history. Yes, I know that she was living with him, whatever. But they're not married anymore. She is really not his responsibility. But I think it's nice that he is stepping up to help take care of her after that surgery. Now, for those of you who are unaware, and she's always, talked about how important it is to have a mammogram, she actually had an undetectable lump that was found during the mammogram. And then she had a biopsy that came back that it was breast cancer. So they said, considering where it was, the lumpectomy was ruled out and she was told to go ahead with the mastectomy, which she did. I think it's very brave of her to come out. All right, let's move on. Now let's move on to Queen Elizabeth. A British sculptor, Mr. Pratley, did a 7-foot tall clay sculpture, which is going to go on display outside Oakham Library. And it's Queen Elizabeth and her corgis. She had more than 30 of them in her lifetime. That's amazing. Anyway, it's a larger-than-life statue, and this is going to be apparently the very first official tribute to her since her death. Wow. All right, moving on. All right, we're back to the whole thing with Balmoral. Here's what this article is saying. It's saying that Harry and Meghan were given an open invite to attend anything that has to do with the family, but they didn't receive an invitation personally from the king. Sorry, I don't believe that. Supposedly, this has just been an open invite. I don't believe it. I believe the other article that said that they were told that they needed to bring the children, they needed to bring no computers, no cell phones, had to be checked at the door, no notes, and you had to sign an NDA. I totally believe that. Otherwise, there's absolutely no way that anybody in the family would be comfortable about them. So, yep. All right, moving on. All right, you guys, here we go. Harry and Meghan. Believe it or not, Meghan, it looks like, is hoping to do an interview. Oh, she's not going to redo an interview with Oprah. No, she's going to do it with Gayle King, Oprah's best friend. My goodness. Apparently, she didn't learn her lesson from the Oprah interview, which backlashed on them so badly. Oh, my goodness. Now, this all ties into it because, we know that since the New York, non-chase and since the spare, Meghan's been keeping her head down, but they're saying that she's cultivating friends. Now we know she uses them and loses them, right? Like Jessica Mulroney, Pretty, oh my gosh, who else? Tyler Perry, Ellen DeGeneres. She uses people and then, bye-bye. The only people she seems to have stayed in good terms with are Oprah Winfrey and Gayle King. She lost the Obamas. So now, it came out that she's cozying up to Kerry Kennedy, who, by the way, was made to look like a fool by giving Harry and Meghan the, award for fighting racism, which they then came out and said didn't exist. And now you have articles like this. They're being frozen out by the Hollywood elite. It's got nothing to do, however, with money. They're like, it's money fears. It's got nothing to do with money. It has to do with like what happened to Courtney Cox, where he goes to her house, uses drugs, and then lets everybody know that he used drugs that belonged to her, that were in her house. So anybody around them is up to be, I use the term markled. We know this. Look what happened with the Beckhams. Meghan accused Victoria Beckham of spilling secrets, causing a rift between David and Harry that never healed. Look what happened with the Clooneys. They invited George and Amal Clooney to their wedding. Then they used Amal Clooney and her jet to get to that baby shower in New York. I think George and Amal figured out pretty quickly what the hell was actually happening, which is why they were at the Prince's Trust, get together not too long ago. And they don't have contact with Harry and Meghan. What about Tyler Perry? How do you guys think Tyler Perry feels when come to find out that it was Meghan who leaked where she and Harry were? And that here's Tyler thinking that all these people are after them, and come to find out it was Meghan all along. Anyway, just as an aside note, they're saying that since it's Meghan's birthday in a few days, whatever she's going to say, she'll probably do it on her birthday. They're going to have to wait and see what her agent comes up with. But, Harry and Meghan have a quote-unquote habit of surprising us. Yeah, anything they touch just explodes in a bad way. You know what I mean? And then you see stuff like this. It's like Harry and Meghan have the opportunity to focus on, quote, mission-driven businesses that have a meaningful impact. In other words, they could tap into a large and growing market that would insulate them from their detractors. Sorry, I don't see it. I mean, for me, once you're caught lying, they've both been caught lying under oath and called it a slip of the mind. That woman has a mind like a trap. Stuff like that doesn't slip her mind. She lied to a court of law. So for me, it's over for them. They're saying that the two of them should launch a mission-driven business focusing on children and parenting. Really? Nobody's ever seen their kids. They're like little hostages. All right, moving on now. Why does this not surprise me? Harry decided that his next Centabali polo match is going to take place in Singapore. He is the co-founder of Centabali from 2006, and this is supposed to help children, who are affected with HIV and, are extremely poor. This also happened at the same time as a Travalyst announcement was put out, which we're going to cover in just a minute. Now, this is an extremely calculated move because, of course, Prince William announced first, before Harry's announcement, that the Earthshot Prize is going to take place in Singapore in 2023. So Harry decided he was going to go there a month earlier for the Centabali. He also supposedly is going to participate in a summit on the power of sport, community, and philanthropy. Oh, I said it. And let me just say, I have an issue with that because that mostly is about giving money. And the only money that Harry and Meghan give is money that was donated to Archwell, and then they like to take complete credit for it. I mean, they've never given any of their own money. Now, he's going to be discussing philanthropy at a sports values summit in Japan on the 9th of August. He's expecting it to be another mini royal tour. We know what's going to happen. I mean, give me a break. Same thing that happened when they went to New York. He's going to be taking his boyfriend Nacho with him. I think it'll be very interesting to see how Tokyo and how Singapore handle Harry's visit as opposed to William's visit. Surely they are aware of everything Harry's done against his family. They're aware that this head guy of Simpsonville just recently stepped down. He decided he had issues with Harry's, and Harry's problems with Piers Morgan. Yep. So, of course, this is no different than when William and Catherine went to New York. Remember, they were in Boston, not in New York. They were in Boston. And this is when Harry and Meghan decided to drop the promo for the Invictus Games. And then the next day, they dropped the promo for the Netflix docuseries. And then the next day, it was, trying to catch the attention. That's what this is. Now, here's the whole Travalyst thing. You know that in 2019, Harry launched this supposed eco-friendly travel company while he was still a working royal. And supposedly, they have now announced an incredible, exciting new era with a new board of directors, and Harry is not even mentioned. Now, of course, this might have something to do with the fact that while Harry is waxing on about the environment and the carbon footprint, he's taking private jets everywhere. And when he was asked about it, here was his answer. Listen to this.
I came here by commercial. I spend 99% of my life traveling the world by commercial. Occasionally there needs to be an opportunity based on a unique circumstance to ensure that my family are safe.
So he didn't apologize for use of private jets. And we all know that this is Meghan who likes the private jets. So people didn't like him launching this project while he and Meghan were all over the place. At one point, they took 4 private jets in like 10 days. I mean, it was a joke. Now, while Harry is still listed on the company website as the founder of the company, he has been left off. Now, they're saying the article says that could have been done at Harry's request or at the request of one of his advisors, to lower Harry's, prominence so that it's not an oversight. And they're saying they do that because Harry is a lightning rod for negative PR, and it was harming the perception of this organization. I, for one, wouldn't use this organization. Why should I worry about my carbon footprint when the man who founded the company isn't worried about his carbon footprint? Why should I care? He claims he offsets it. Really? By paying money, no less. Oh, I'll just use another private jet. Let me give $10,000 to some company somewhere as a donation. It doesn't work that way. You can't undo the damage, but I guess Harry thinks you can. So anyway, I'm not interested in Travalyst. He went and did this stupid skit in his California backyard where supposedly he was in New Zealand. It made him look even dumber than he already looks. So what does Harry have left? Well, let's take a quick look. First of all, books. He did sign a 4-book deal with Penguin Random House, but there was such backlash from the spare, the books being left all over, and we still don't know how many books were actually sold, because let's not forget that you bought 1 book, they shipped out 2, they had some going out for free, so we still have to look at that. Also, there's the Archwell Foundation, which, except for those 2 donations that totaled $13 million, has made no money. You have the Aspen Institute, which is a commission on information disorder, which I find hilarious, considering the fact that Harry himself is guilty of putting out misinformation. You have the Invictus Games, which sadly is being taken over by Meghan. I mean, she's, $500,000 in clothes last year. It's become the Meghan Pony show. You have Better Up, where he became the chimpo of this mental health firm, which actually has now been accused of bullying its employees. It's not doing well at all. You have the ethical banking. These people have investments for only 1,000 wealthy clients. The rest of us are too poor to join in on that, but whatever. And of course, you have Simpsonville, which always brings me back to that little girl that Harry promised to take care of, and he hasn't. So what are you guys thinking about this whole thing? I mean, I, for one, am really tired of these uber wealthy people who fly around on jets, and Harry's like, well, I only do it with Meghan to, make sure she's secure, her safety. Crap. What crap? She likes private jets. He gets her private jets. So what do you guys think about these uber wealthy people that are constantly telling us what we should be doing when they don't do it? Just like Harry and Meghan. Do as I say, not what I do. Typical behavior. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but it seems to me the only friends that she's managed to hang on to so far are Oprah and Gayle King. All right. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell. If you've already hit the button, double check, make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget to leave those comments because you know I'm reading them and I'm using some of them. Don't forget to go into the description box where you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Getter, my Rumble, my email, and my physical address. For those of you who've donated to the coffee fund or through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.